to the frequency of harsh punishments. Well, in a country like North Korea, I imagine if the fearless leader takes a disliking to you because you said something about him, from whether he's fat to he's ignorant, then you're going to suffer the death penalty, as a matter of fact. But I think that's what they mean by, aren't you glad you live in America, the land of the free and the home of the brave? At least if you say something against government policy, like I don't think that the Biden administration should continue providing bombs to Israel to blow up people, people won't come knocking on your door and pick you up, and you'll never be seen or heard from again. 60 Minutes was just doing a piece on Soviet Russia and how Vladimir Putin is such a dictator, and how he's brought people up on charges, and how difficult it is to defend yourself in a situation like that. So again, I think it makes most of us happy to live in a country where we do have some freedom of speech, even though I think that they're cracking down on that, to tell you the truth. They especially are cracking down on the Fourth Amendment about our freedoms to be secure within our own persons and homes. They have passed all sorts of spying data that can look into the home, look into your cell phone, and don't you believe that just because they made a couple of pages blow up and other things, that they can't make your cell phone do the same thing, especially these new smart cell phones that are coming out that are probably a lot smarter than most of us. The children could operate them a little bit better than we can, to tell you the truth, as adults. And I think sometimes these smartphones are getting a little too smart as they start to think for themselves. I get tired of my phone always telling me about how I need to stand up, or I need to walk a little bit more, or I need to exercise more. I don't need that from a phone. I can be slothful as I want to, or I can pick up things and go places and do things. It does not depend on, I don't depend on a phone to tell, or a watch to tell me when I ought to be active. And I don't think any of us should either. If you're a couch potato, you should know better, and that will not extend your life as much as getting up and taking a walk, stopping smoking, stop overeating, watch the stuff that you do eat. I see ads now that say meat, 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 meat. I'm cutting back on meat, to tell you the truth, because sometimes I think it interferes with my digestion. Let me put it like that. All right, 866-391-1020 is our number. Lines are available. You should hop on one of them right now so we can talk to you about the issues of the day. We started the program talking about farmers and how they're suffering in some counties around Allegheny County, at least a quarter of a loss in their crops that they are planting. Mr. Bird says that is not sustainable over the next couple of years, and he and other farmers are going to be put out of business. If that happens, what will we eat? What will we eat? You'll wonder why I do shows like that, because I think it's something completely different, and it's something that we need to pay attention to. Don says we got to look at that and look down the road, because it's not that far away, 3 planting seasons, and there might not be any grain to make cereal or do anything else with that they do with grain, including feeding the animals, the cows, or anything else. We've got to work on these problems so that we're self-sufficient. What happens if we have to go to Ukraine, the breadbasket of Europe, in order to get food to feed ourselves? These things are important, and we need to think about them. We've also talked about the presidential election. One of the recent callers, Mark, talked about how black men are just going to sit this out. Are you a black man who won't vote for Kamala Harris because you think she's too haughty? Is her nose in the air? Has she not addressed your concerns? Some people say that that's going to be the case, and people are going to stay away from the polls. This could cost her at the polls, and she might not win the election. Meanwhile, there are tons of Trump supporters who rabidly say that they will wave their MAGA flags and MAGA hats in order that he get elected. They trust him more with the economy and other issues that have to do with everyday living. We wonder how you feel about any and all of that. Our number is 866-391-1020, and we urge you to call as we have 45 minutes left. And I don't want to sit here and talk to myself, okay? Dial them in right now, 866-391-1020. I don't care what your opinion is. I'd like to hear it. We're going to take this break, and we'll come back with your calls, I hope.
News, weather, traffic, and business every day. Hear it on News Radio KDKA.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-511-3535. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-511-3535. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-511-3535. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-511-3535. 800-511-3535 or biglou.com.
The clock is ticking. Diamond's direct ultimate offer is almost over. Until September 30th, you can get 5 years of 0% financing on any purchase. It's the perfect chance for worry-free shopping with no interest and monthly payments customized for you. And now open Sunday, September 29th. Take advantage of this amazing opportunity. From luxury timepieces to engagement rings and more. Don't wait. Spread your payments over 5 years with zero interest on approved credit. Only until September 30th. For details and more, visit DiamondsDirect.com.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at KennyRoss.com.
Did you know that now you can listen to all your favorite stations, including this one, shows, and even podcasts, all on the Odyssey app? Download it now.
Pittsburgh's 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, here we go. Back to the phones. Amy and McDonald, you're on KDK.
Good evening, Chris.
Hi.
Hi. I just wanted to clear up the conversation from last night for the bishop. I was telling you that last time I heard him on your radio show was he was talking about the Haitians coming into Charleroi. And I heard on MSNBC they started the story about the Haitians eating the dogs and cats, and then they went into how there were other complaints about having the Haitians be in different areas that weren't more affluent. They could have been before. Then I said, and then you just verified that with me during our conversation. So that's all that was said there, Bishop. It's okay. And as far as
y'all shouldn't worry about what was said or some people misinterpret things all the time, and you have to come back and try to correct them, and half the time they don't even remember they said it. So
yeah, well, I said I'm just trying to make him kill down a little bit. There's nothing, didn't say anything bad.
Okay. Chill out, right, Amy?
And with Kamala and the gentleman that was talking, I think was it Curtis? From
last night.
Pardon?
You mean last night? Or?
No, I mean tonight. The one he was saying how the black males may not vote.
Oh, no, that was a guy named Mark, I believe.
Mark, okay. And the thing about with Kamala, this is what gets me about the campaign from, like, Trump and Vance. They're all like, you know, she's the border czar, and why, if she was going to do this, why didn't, you know, she had 3.5 years to do things already. Why, you know, why is she saying this now in her campaign? She's not the president, people. He doesn't make the final decisions. So what you think didn't take place because she was in office for 3.5 years, she's not the president. Joe Biden makes the final decisions on that. Well, what she's telling you now is what she is going to do when she is president.
Yeah, but Amy, they point to the fact that President Biden made her when she was vice president, and they don't like to use this word, the czar, but made her responsible for immigration and the border. And then that's where people pick at her record and say she had the chance to do something about it for 4 years and did not. Whether it's accurate or not, I will not say.
Well, what he did was he put her out on a mission to find out why everyone was coming to the border. And she went to Mexico, she went to Venezuela, and she went to one other country I can't think of right now, but she was supposed to, went and talked to the leaders, and that's when Mexico just voted in their president, the female there, and so she was coming back doing her report. And I said, too, that's the other thing. She still took care of she's seen the border up close and personal more than any of them have, because when she was the Attorney General, and, you know, she went in and busted the people on the trafficking of the fentanyl. She was actually went in and was taken into the tunnels that they had built underground. You know, she busted them for human trafficking. So she's seen it up close and personal more than anybody. And what I don't understand is everybody, if you think Trump is going to do something for you, or, you know, if you're that prejudiced or whatever and you want to vote for Trump because you think he's going to take care of all of your discriminatory issues that you have, let me tell you something. If you're white and you're not rich, he don't care about you at all. And just like, you know, look at what happened in, like I said again, Germany in 1930s. You know, Hitler, if you weren't doing something for him or you became a problem, you were going to. They're not here to solve your problems.
Okay, I think we got your point of view.
All right, thanks, Chris.
All right, thank you, Amy.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Let's go to Doc. Doc, you're on KDK.
Dr. Professor Chris Moore, reparations now, reparations forever.
Amen.
Amen. Now, I'm one of those black men from Washington County, and I'm going to vote for Kamala Harris. Gladly.
Why?
Appreciatively.
Why?
Why? Because she has my best interest at heart. I'm not going to vote for somebody who wants to. I don't know what they want to do with black people. You tell me. You know better than I what they don't have nothing good in mind for us. I don't think. Do you?
Well, I'm with you. Okay.
Well, praise the Lord. Thank you, Jesus. And it's great to hear you. I'm still listening to you out here in Washington County, so praise God, from whom all blessings flow.
I wondered what happened to you.
Oh, I'm out here. I'm listening. Last time we talked, I thought we had I said something. I didn't really mean anything derogatory the last time we talked. I just meant, an acronym, which wasn't a good one, I guess.
All right.
So praise God. All right. Thank you, Dr.
Well,
Professor.
I'm not holding any grudges, okay?
Praise God. And I'm glad to hear you.
All right.
All the time.
Thank you, Doc. Appreciate you.
Praise God. Amen.
All right. Let's go to Don in Monroeville. Don, you on KDKA.
Hey, how you doing? Chris Moore.
All right.
Okay, this is a first-time caller. I've been listening to you for years.
Well, welcome.
I just had to get on the phone when I heard that young black man get on the phone saying that he was disappointed that Kamala Harris didn't go to Homewood, Northside, places like that. She went to Oakland. Oakland's like the center of all the black neighborhoods. It takes you like 10 minutes to probably get on a bus from any of those directions to see Kamala Harris. Like I said, it's black men can't count on Trump to do anything for them. Past he's called you racist with words. Present, he hasn't done anything for you. In the future, he probably won't do anything for you either. Trump hasn't done anything. He's misogynistic when it comes to the military. And, he just doesn't have anything positive to say about anybody in the black neighborhood. And I'm very disappointed in black men. You need to get up and get out there and vote, because your words are nothing's going to happen to you unless you get out there and do something. I've been voting ever since I was 18 years old, and I'm in my 70s right now. And it's a positive thing if you get out there and vote, and that would change everything. I've listened to you for a long time. I just had to get on the phone when that man got on and said that Kamala Harris is too uppity. He sounds like he's uppity if he don't want to vote for her.
Well, I can't say. Everybody has an opinion,
Yeah, I have an opinion, too, and I think Trump is a very, very bad person, and I think that these men need to get off their butts and get out there and do something to help the neighborhood. And the first thing I think would be done would be them to get out there and vote. Because I have a lot of friends, black men too, to say that they're going to get out there and do things. But they're just sitting on there talking about her like she's some high horse. She's down to earth with anybody out here.
All right. We appreciate your opinion too.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate the work that you're doing because it is very, very vital.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Chris Moore.
Don't be a stranger, Don.
I won't be. If I hear something I don't agree to, I'm going to call you and talk back with you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right, let's go to Bobby on the south side. Bobby!
Hey, what's up, Mr. Mo?
You, man.
Oh, man, you push it up. You know what I'm saying? Now, I kind of agree with the gentleman. You have to get up and vote. Now, here's the reason why. Bear with me. The massive proclamation, you were free. You didn't get the right to vote till the 60s, and he's still messing around. So,
black men got the right to vote before the 60s.
They said you could vote. Now, read some of the stuff, and they would, how could I say it? Do you wrong, but you couldn't vote.
Oh, well, you
what I'm saying?
You're right about that. Yes.
All right.
All right.
Huh?
You're right about that. Yeah, they took right about it.
All right. Tell the truth or shame the devil. That's what my grandma used to tell me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So let's be honest about this particular situation. So why we have to get out and vote is because it's your right. Now, another thing I wanted to talk about. Oh, shoot, I almost lost that one. Here you go. People have to treat each other right, because this was another one of my grandmas, you know. Grandma be telling you something, spank you or something. You know, if you treat people right, you'll do right. You know what I'm saying? Simple equation.
Well.
And, the thing about growing vegetables, now your family's from Arkansas, so is mine, and we kept our land from way back then.
Yeah, we've kept our land too, but I think they're still trying to steal it. Break time.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Join Rob Pratt every Sunday at 11 a.m. for Black and Gold Sunday, presented by Coons Market, your hometown Pittsburgh grocer. Rob keeps you posted on Pittsburgh sports with 2 hours of exciting talk. That's Black and Gold Sunday, 11 to 1, presented each week by Coons Market.
Marty, listen, I have seen so much angst and anger these days that, you know what's overwhelmed me with joy and optimism? This Get Marty. The folks in this community that have stepped up. You can't help your neighbor if you hate your neighbor. Get Marty epitomizes that opportunity to help people, feed people, clothe people, educate people. If you need me, get Marty at KDKRadio.com. It's where we will find a way to help you.
Get Marty is brought to you by Julian Gray Associates, Schultz Ford, Greater Pitt Tree Service, UPMC, and Robert Pearson Associates.
From the Aetna Medicare Solutions Studio.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020.
Actor and musician Chris Christopherson has died.
Feeling good was easy loving, Bobby sang the blues.
Best known for writing Me and Bobby McGee, among other hits, Christopherson was 88. More than 100 dead, hundreds still missing from Helene. CBS's Skylar Henry is in hard-hit North Carolina.
Nearly 300 roads are impassable in western North Carolina alone. There has been no power or cell phone service in the city of Asheville since last week.
Israeli airstrikes have left Hezbollah reeling from a string of devastating blows, killing both its leader and its deputy head. CBS's Natalie Brand has White House reaction.
President Biden says all-out war in the region has to be avoided and that he will be speaking to Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu as relations between the two leaders have been strained.
CBS News Brief, I'm Cooper Lawrence.
Hi, Paul Alexander here. You know, Thanksgiving's coming up fast, so while you're counting your blessings, why not add a thankful 30 to the list? With Awaken 180 weight loss, you can drop 30 pounds by Thanksgiving, or even 40 if you get the same results I did. I dropped my first 35 pounds in just 6.5 weeks, and let me tell you, it's a game changer. Imagine this. While everyone else is debating who the starting quarterback should be, you're sitting at the dinner table feeling lighter, more energetic, and thankful for the 30 pounds no longer holding you back. If I can drop 35 pounds with Awaken 180, I know you can hit that thankful 30 by Turkey Day as well. It's simple, laid out for you, and as you all know, it doesn't include a lifetime of medications. That's why I chose Awaken 180. Be thankful this year for dropping your 30 or more pounds. Head to Awaken180weightloss.com and reserve your consultation today. Fast, proven, and as you all know, the weight will stay off thanks to free support for life. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Feel like everything's clouded by doubt? Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com. Our psychics are available to talk 24/7, and we guarantee if it's not life-changing, it's free. Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
I learned it from my adoptive mom.
Hold my hand. You hold my hand.
Learn about Support adopting a teen from foster care at adoptuskids.org. You can't imagine the reward. Brought to you by Adopt U.S. Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Occasional rain and drizzle tonight through tomorrow. Low 63, high tomorrow 69. Cloudy and mild tomorrow night with a couple of showers left over. Low 62. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Kyle Erickson, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
What's up, America? It's Rich Valdez. On our next show, we're joined by Bill O'Reilly, and he's got a brand new book called Confronting the Presidents. Then, Open Phone America is coming up at the third hour, Monday night at 10 p.m. on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Last half hour of our show. Let's see. I don't believe I have any dates throughout the week to be here. So, nope, don't see anything there. See anything there? Don't see anything there. Did they give me a Friday? No. Nothing there. Nope, no date. So you have to wait till Saturday of next week at 5 o'clock when I'm back with you. In the meantime, let's go to the phones. Let's go to Ruth in the South Hills. You're on KDK.
Hello, Chris. I was listening to the people talking about Kamala, and for me it was getting painful, so I decided to call in. It's my opinion that she's not going to help people the way they think. But here's a fact, and this is the kind of thing that makes me say this. And when the fellow said she's got her nose in the air, this would be one of the reasons why. And you can fact check this. It's easy to pull up on the internet. Her best friend of many decades was Lauren, her middle name, or maiden name was Powell, Lauren Jobs. That's Steve Jobs' wife, the multi-billionaire. And Mrs. Jobs, Lauren Jobs, and Kamala have been hanging out together, besties. We're talking really besties. And Lauren Jobs is very political. She's on the board of the Council on Foreign Relations, which dictates policy to America. And she is in the the Davos groups through her companies. She's very active there. She's a globalist. And any of those global clubs, she's there, and in a very big way. And she's been funding. She's the biggest funder to Kamala's campaign and has been supporting her through her career here. To me, I find that scary. Now, so you don't get too mad at me for telling you this, because it's true. On the Trump side, the big techie funding him is Peter Thiel. That's who Vance, he grew up in his business. His partners with Peter Thiel, Vance, in their techie business. I don't know tech language. We'll leave it at that. But these are huge people. Now, Peter Thiel is also, he's not on the Council on Foreign Relations, but which really should scare you, because they're going to do the Davos thing. They're going to do the reset thing. Okay? She's a globalist. The Harris group and even the Trump group has this behind them. He's the biggest funder of Trump, Peter Thiel, huge tech guy, and he's connected through his companies like the other woman at the Davos World Economic Forum. So we have now. That's very confusing. This turned my stomach when I was reading all this stuff, and I was digging for articles. Who's Peter Thiel connected to? Going to the World Economic Forum, trying to figure out if his companies are there and what's going on. But that's true about both of them. So I don't know.
So you're not going to vote?
Pardon me?
So you're not going to vote. And another thing. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Stop.
I am going to vote. I am going to vote.
Stop.
Yes.
You've been talking for 3 minutes. I haven't interrupted you at all. Let me say something, okay? It sounds like you won't vote because it's the evil of two lessers that you're going to end up with. I don't know what choice. Did I say let me say something?
Vote.
Did I let you? Well, I'll just shut up and let you talk since you're the expert. Go ahead.
No, you misunderstood me.
No, you misunderstand me. You won't let me talk.
I am going to vote. I am going to vote.
You won't let me talk is the issue, not whether you're going to vote or not. Just go on and finish.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm done. Finish what you got to say so I can let you go.
No, it's not I'm voting. Well, it's a matter of all yes and lessers, but RFK joined up with Trump. And he threw his hat in with Trump. That's all. You
going to vote for RFK?
No, he's going to be on the Trump administration. And it gets worse, you know. I mean, Elon Musk is involved in this. These are all global actors pushing both sides. That should make everybody unhappy and think twice.
You think everybody doesn't know this? People end up voting for somebody that they have to support for various reasons. You've done all this research until you're dizzy in the head and you don't know.
No, it's interesting. It's fascinating.
Well, it is interesting and it is fascinating.
Well, why are you insulting me?
I'm not insulting you. You insulted me by calling up saying you're going to get mad about this. I'm not mad at you.
You haven't gotten over the time you called me a flaming racist, which I'm not.
I don't even remember what you're talking about.
Goodbye, Chris. Grow up.
Goodbye. Good riddance, too. See, everybody always hangs up on me. You can't have a conversation. What's wrong with you? I let you talk for a full 3 minutes, and then you wouldn't let me say anything for 10 seconds. And when I try to question you on something, you want to cut me off and tell me what the deal is. I don't even remember your call where I called you a racist. I don't call people names on these shows. And I don't know if you're a racist or not. I don't know anything about you. I know you've done your homework and you've done your reading, and you're right about those folks who backed him. But what are we to do? Not vote? What are we to do? That was a question that I wanted to get to you, but you get so mad you had to go. You can't have a conversation. Well, don't bother me anymore then if that's the way you feel. 866-391-1020. Let's go to Tom in Moon. Tom, you're on KDKA.
Okay, thank you, Chris. I'm following up again on Ross's point from yesterday about year-round schooling, and then I couldn't think of the aspect that added to that, but you were probably maybe a few years before me in schooling, and I think the 60s were the pivotal change in our education system. I don't know what happened. I could think probably one thing my grandmother said is that they took prayer out of schools, but the thing I thought of and that I couldn't think of last night was in the early 80s when I was in Germany, and the few Germans I met, their kids could speak conversational English in, their early years, and that was something that we never learned until, at least I was in 10th grade, and, I had to take French in 10th grade, and I'm asking myself, why did I have to do this? But I felt pretty stupid the first time I was in Paris, and I could just barely speak a word of French, while I was over there, So that's where I think our educational system, and I don't know, like I said, I've been 50 years out of school. I don't know what they're teaching now, but well,
it's not much different. Americans are always high and mighty about this. We go to different countries and sit over there and yell at people. What's the matter? Don't you speak English? And we're in their country, you know. Most, for instance, airline pilots, all of them have to be able to speak English in order to fly. The English is the standard around the world for some of these things. And I think let me finish, please. I think that makes us a little bit haughty when we come to thinking about other countries and we look down our noses at those folks.
Well, that's what I remember in this last few years. I'll say, Rush used to always say English was a power language, you know, so...
Well, it is in terms of the language that everybody is using. As I said, it's an international language for airline pilots. You have to be able to speak it fluently in order to fly a plane anywhere around the world. They speak English. So you have to be very careful about how we put our noses in the air because we're Americans and we think everything is better here than it is in other countries.
I wouldn't put my nose in the air.
I'm not talking about you personally.
No, I understand that. I wouldn't say that. So like I said, I have friends that are still from all over the world, but I guess that was my main point that I couldn't think of. Was that?
Well, you're right. The education system, I think, is failing us, especially when it comes to speaking foreign languages.
Yeah, I think, you know, we need, I always, you know, and that was a little while back, you know, especially after I got my first opportunity to go overseas, but I thought we were just way too late in just teaching us to learn a foreign language, because I think it was so much easier to learn a foreign language when you were so much younger like that.
I think you're right.
Okay. Well, like I said, I just thought of the other point I wanted to make to you. I appreciate you getting me in as early as you did. So,
all right. Take care.
You too. Thank you.
Bye. 866-391-1020. That's our number. We're going to take this break. Come back with your call. Stay with us.
People listen to me, please.
You want to hear what I have to say?
Your voice.
My voice.
Voice my displeasure.
The loudest voice is heard.
Can you hear me?
It's our chance to use our voice. Here.
Thank you for giving us a voice.
100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-525-8448. 800-525-8448. 800-525-8448.
100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA. Covered by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 platinum preferred roofing company.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
Hear about it, then talk about it. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
KDKA Radio News Time, 8:47. I'm Chris Moore. Let's go to the phones. Gary in Georgia, you're on KDKA.
Wow, thanks, Chris. I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, no, I just happened to be listening the last half hour, so
I'm glad you were.
Yeah. All right, thank you. I normally tune in when you come on, but I had to go somewhere. But anyway, make a long story short, which is hard for me to do.
I know.
No, that lady wouldn't let you talk.
Well, I'm not worried about it. I'm not.
No, I know. Well, I don't like it. I don't like it either. I have the right not to like it, don't I?
You do, but I'm not mad at her.
No, I know you're not. You don't go down that road. You won't go down that road. Why defeat yourself? And I think that's my point. I hope a lot of the American people get their act together when they go in the voting booth in November, because if you don't think that the rule of law isn't important anymore, which a lot of people don't, then we're in so serious trouble. It's unbelievable. That's my view, my continuing view.
Well, what do you mean, rule of law?
The rule of law. We want our country to move forward. We continue to work at democracy. Correct? So in that context, the best way I can describe it, I'm not very good at this, I suppose, sometimes. Yes, the economy is important. Yes, immigration is important. Yes, these other issues are important. However, if you don't have that foundation in a democracy, that the rule of law, in the end, that no man, no woman is above the law, then things are not going to work out. Things are not going to work out in democracy. Is that an explanation?
Yeah, I hear you.
So I think that's where we're at. I think that's where we're exactly at. So we cannot continue. And I'm not making judgments on the American people. I'm looking at moving forward and maintaining our democracy. Like that one person said a long time ago, that it's a republic if you can keep it.
Mm-hmm.
And we're being tested right now.
Well, it's pretty hard to do so, to tell you the truth. We talk about many great countries that have risen and fallen over the years. Right now, there are a lot of people in our country who think that we're about to fall, especially if Democrats retake the White House. I think that that's poppycock, to tell you the truth.
I think it's the other way around.
Well, again, everybody has an opinion, but I hope the people who have your opinion and my opinion are the ones that hold sway. We will see if the country goes to hell in a handbasket if Ms. Harris is elected. Okay?
I will never, in closing, thank you for taking the call. I will never, win, lose, or draw, understand how any person, man or female, male or female, could possibly be voted to be elected president of the United States when they have 33 felon charges that have been ruled against that person. And January 6th got our democracy shaken. It was literally shaken. And I'll never understand how anybody can even begin whether they're Democrat. It doesn't matter what party they are. They could be a Democrat. I feel the same damn way. How could you even consider voting for a person that did that and has that track record? I can't understand it.
Well, I don't either, but there are a lot of people in this country who have looked the other way when it comes to all.
Yeah. All right, take care and have a good, healthy week, okay?
All right, you do the same. Thank you, Gary.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye. All right, let's go to John in Ohio. John, you on KDKA.
I'd like to, I heard about a caller a couple hours ago that just went on a rant about if you're not going to vote for Trump, you're a commie, a socialist, a Satanist, a witch, and they get these ideas, and I don't know how they are permitted to continue with them on a Cleveland station every night of the week on a 100,000 watt or so station with a nationwide reach, calling anybody who calls for any kind of decent or fair social policies.
You have to call that station and talk to them about it. I can't do anything about that.
Yeah, well, I wanted to offer an antidote to that kind of venom. There's a Christian preacher who is disgusted with that kind of Christian, so-called Christian Zionism. And he has a website that's very impressive that he put out. It's called The Tragedy and the Turning of Christian Zionism Against True Christianity. It's by Reverend Charles E. Carlson. And he shows the connections between the Balfour Declaration and the corruption of the Bible, the translations that were completely fraudulently used to produce the Schofield Bible, so-called. And that's where they have this idea that unless we support Israel and its genocide and its murder, that the God is going to bring about the apocalypse, and the nuclear apocalypse wouldn't be bad because it would bring back Jesus, even though it would kill and incinerate most of the human race, if not the entire human race. And I think this is a very dangerous and psychopathic attitude, and people, I think, should get this video that exposes this Christian Zionism, so-called, according to the Schofield fraudulent Bible. And it's called, The Tragedy and the Turning of Christian, so-called Christian Zionism Against True Christianity. And it's by Charles E. Carlson, Reverend Charles E. Carlson, who debunks it perfectly and shows what a threat this is. And as we're moving towards all the provocations by the U.S. towards the nuclear war in Ukraine and in Gaza, that there are powerful forces and masquerading as Christianity that are a fraud. And Sinclair Lewis, once in the 30s, exposed this, and he wrote, fascism will come to America wearing Christian, wrapped in Christianity and carrying a cross. And I think there's a powerful element among this Christian Zionism that is leading us exactly towards fascism and World War III. And I would ask people to, again, get that video, The Tragedy and the Turning of Christian Zionism Against True Christianity by Charles E. Carlson.
All right. Thank you for that reading recommendation. I hope people will add it to the list. I already know that that's what has happened to many of these Christians who are evangelical and doomsayers about Israel and all the rest and what they have done to Christianity. That's the reason when some of you all call and start talking about, Christianity, you got to believe in God and all that, I start raising an eyebrow because I haven't seen Christians do what they're supposed to do according to their own beliefs. The other thing I want to talk about before I go in the next 40 seconds or so are all your folks who hold grudges, who remember something I supposedly said months ago, and you're mad, and now you can't have a conversation. and I can let you talk for 3 minutes, and if I interrupt you for a point of order, you don't shut me down again and not let me talk. This is my show. I don't care if you hang up on me and leave. I don't care if you get mad. But I'm not mad at you. And you'll need to understand that. I don't hold grudges. All right. Well, it's time for me to get my hat and go get my head rubbed and get something to eat. Love you all. Good night.
The Big K Morning Show with Larry Richards.
Analyst and knows a little bit about money, too. John Delano.
And as Pennsylvania goes, though, goes the White House.
Kamala Harris spoke at Carnegie Mellon University.
She was pretty specific with respect to a variety of tax credit, capital gains, fairly typical Kamala Harris.
The Big K Morning Show with Larry Richards, weekday mornings, 5:30 till 10 on the voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
The Village at St. Barnabas, the perfect place for mom.
Making an Impact, sponsored by Granger. Students attend Girls State to join in an exercise in democracy. This participant was glad to be part of it.
Left or right, just participate. Participate in democracy. There'd be a lot more representation of women. It would help more people get up and exercise their voice.
For the ones who get it done, Granger offers professional-grade supplies and solutions. Made for every industry and backed by product experts. Call, click Granger.com, or just stop by.
Mom, meet Sarah.
From first-time Nana moments.
And welcome to Flight 101.
To annual girls trip moments. Your can't-miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
All the news you need for your day and the sports, music, and podcasts you love are all on the free Odyssey app. Download now.
KDKA and KDKA FM HD2 Pittsburgh, W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare Solutions Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Cooper Lawrence. The Southeast is reeling in the aftermath of the devastation from Helene.
This is the worst natural disaster in our city's history.
The mayor of Augusta, Georgia, says the power lines are so severely damaged they won't have power back until at least Saturday. At least 100 people are dead in 6 states, millions without power, and hundreds still missing.
I'm Jason Allen in Cedar Key, Florida, where there's damage from one house to the next, and you will find this extending for hundreds of miles to the north.
Heather Greenwood has lived on Cedar Key for the last 5 years and manages the town's bed and breakfast.
So many of these island people work so hard and they've just lost everything.
Touring this afternoon, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis said the damage from Helene appears to be greater than the combined effects of Idalia and Hurricane Debbie in August.
Actor, singer, songwriter Chris Christopherson has died.
On the Sunday morning sidewalk.
Best known for A Star is Born and Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore, his music spanned decades. Chris Christopherson was 88. In Lebanon, at least 2 people were killed in an Israeli strike on Beirut. CBS's Natalie Brand has more.
National Security Council's John Kirby says that Hezbollah's leadership structure being decimated works to the Israelis' advantage and is good for the region. U.S. officials tell CBS News that Hezbollah's missile capabilities have also been significantly degraded.
Around 45,000 dock workers could strike as early as Tuesday if a new contract deal isn't reached. CBS's Tim McNicholas has more.
The looming strike would mean the biggest disruption to the flow of goods in and out of the U.S. since the height of the pandemic, affecting building materials, fresh fruit, and more. And this shelf could be empty, you're saying?
Well, the bananas, yes.
New York City grocery store owner Abdul Jawad says his customers could notice changes within a week of the strike. If it happens, how will that affect prices?
Well, prices will go higher without a doubt.
Former President Donald Trump launched new attacks on Vice President Kamala Harris at a rally in Erie, Pennsylvania.
What she's done is a total disqualifier. She should be disqualified. She should resign the vice presidency and go home to California.
Former Arizona Republican Senator Jeff Flake has also immigration on his mind and joins a growing number of Republicans endorsing Harris. He spoke about it on ABC's This Week.
One thing that she brings to the table is that she knows how to work on a bipartisan basis. And if we do immigration reform that endures, it's going to have to be bipartisan.
This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Progressive presents Renter's MVP's Most Valuable Possessions. Today's MVP, Emily Neal's 70-inch TV. Because after watching her second-grade students yell at each other for hours, there's nothing Emily enjoys more than watching super-rich housewives also yell at each other. Why? Because those women are not her responsibility. And that's why her TV is today's MVP. Keep your most valuable possessions protected by bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Hypertrophic cardiomyopathy is a serious heart condition. Some symptoms include being short of breath, feeling tired, or having dizziness or chest pain. My HCM impacted how I felt and what I could do. So I asked my cardiologist about treatment advances that gave me new options. That conversation was big for me. That's why I'm working with Bristol-Myers Squibb to raise awareness about HCM and to help others like me. Talk to your cardiologist today and visit hcmrealtalk.com to learn more.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb.
Pope Francis has pledged support for victims of clergy sexual abuse during his visit to Belgium.
Pope Francis on Sunday denounced the cover-up of clerical sex abuse and said victims should receive more financial compensation. Speaking to a crowd of about 30,000 gathered for a mass in the Brussels stadium, the Pope said, "I ask the bishops not to cover up abuse, to condemn abusers. Evil must not be hidden. It must be brought out into the open." During his 3-day visit to Belgium, Pope Francis personally met with 17 abuse survivors. Anna Matranga, CBS News, Rome.
Today's not the day to relax while watching Adele videos on YouTube. They're blocked. Several artists, including Green Day and Rush, are currently unplayable because of a dispute between the platform and performing rights organization SESAC. Both sides are working to renegotiate their deal. In the meantime, the Rolling Stones are working just fine. Cooper Lawrence, CBS News.
Are you paying too much for prescription drugs? Other pharmacies take a $5 drug and charge $300, but not a Blueberry Pharmacy. We introduced the Cost Plus model over 4 years ago, ensuring transparent and fair pricing. From our North Hills location, Blueberry Pharmacy services Pennsylvania, Ohio, and West Virginia. We apply the same pricing principle to everything from blood pressure medication to chemotherapy drugs. Enjoy exceptional service where you can talk to a real person like me. Call us at 412-612-2279 or visit blueberrypharmacy.com.
Your source for everything that's news. Hear it on News Radio KDKA.
The clock is ticking. Diamond's Direct's ultimate offer is almost over. Until September 30th, you can get 5 years of 0% financing on any purchase. It's the perfect chance for worry-free shopping with no interest and monthly payments customized for you. And now open Sunday, September 29th. Take advantage of this amazing opportunity. From luxury timepieces to engagement rings and more. Don't wait. Spread your payments over 5 years with zero interest on approved credit. Only until September 30th. For details and more, visit diamondsdirect.com.
Honey, I found the perfect place for my parents and us.
Where?
St. Barnabas. For us, the Woodlands Carriage Home Community. And for my parents, condominium-style living at the Village. My folks will love the Village. There's an indoor mall with shops, restaurants, and more. And we can relax, knowing they're safe and secure.
That's what I plan to do when we move to St. Barnabas. Relax.
Call 724-444-5568 or visit stbarnabascommunities.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Here's the latest from the KDKA Community Message Board.
Pet Fest 24, presented by Subaru, is happening Sunday, October 27th at Rockwell Park in the East End. We're excited to welcome our guests and their furry best friends back to this positively amazing event. Explore vendors, visit Santa, costume contests, and so much more. Details at KDKARadio.com. Looking to start your weekend early? Head to Rivers Casino every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday for live entertainment. Visit riverscasino.com for the full schedule. Join us and Glimmer of Hope for the Race to Beat Breast Cancer, Saturday, October 5th. Every dollar raised supports metastatic breast cancer research and programs right here in Pittsburgh. Remember, what's raised here stays here.
Keep listening for updates from the KDKA Community Message Board. Details at KDKARadio.com.
The following is a test of the emergency alert system. Extended operational area. This concludes this emergency alert system test.
This is Larry Richard. Once again, we'll honor 5 individuals doing extraordinary things in the Pittsburgh community during our Hometown Heroes event on October 8th. Our Lifetime Achievement honoree is former Pirates manager, Hall of Famer Jim Leland.
Hometown Heroes is brought to you in part by Levin Furniture and Mattress, PNC, Centamark, Lamont Restaurant, Schneider Downs, the Pittsburgh Steelers, CASA of Westmoreland County, Eastern Atlantic States Regional Council of Carpenters, West Penn AAA, and by News Radio 1020 KDKA.
At AHN, we see you juggling 100 things at once. That's why we made it easier to book with the doctors you need. With AHN online scheduling, you can book with your primary care provider or get time with a specialist. Visit ahn.org/schedule, answer a couple of simple questions, and search for providers, locations, and times that work best for you. Easy online scheduling. Because at AHN, we see you.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Mostly cloudy tonight with pockets of rain and drizzle, low 63. Occasional rain and drizzle tomorrow, high 69. Cloudy skies tomorrow night with a couple of showers still around, low 62. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Carl Erickson, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Good evening and welcome to Amplify, a program that looks at life mostly from a spiritual perspective. I'm Father Ron Lingwin, hoping you have felt the warmth of God's love in your life this day, but especially the joy you feel when you share God's love with others. And as we do every week, I'd like to begin telling a story that is based on faith and formed with imagination. If not taken directly, it is not taken directly from sacred scripture, but has been inspired by it with a hope that it will help you to focus your heart and mind on the topic for the evening. Let me break just here a little bit and say, first of all, I may well have the wrong number for our guest. It's in my phone. We know we're calling the number. It's in my phone, and I've used it before, so I'm not quite quite sure, so our guest is to be Susan Muto. And if, Susan, if you could, I'm sure you're listening, if you could